If you are joining us for this show after you watched the New York Giants show, we stomped you out. You get double the pleasure, double the fun here with these two sexy beasts. I am Steve. We got Timmy here to my left. What's going on, my friend? How's it going? How's life?
We're back. We're
You're
back.
back.
I'm excited that tomorrow's Thanksgiving. It's normal Thanksgiving. I get to go to my mother's and eat her food. So I will not eat anybody else's food. Last year we had to drive over there the day before in masks and gloves and hazmat suits and to pick up the food she made for us, and it was horrible.
Just the worst.
So I get to
So,
see relatives I haven't seen in 2 years and sit down and eat like a normal person. So I'm very pumped up.
that's a good thing. You know, we always question the next thing. What are we supposed to be doing? What should we be doing? How do we keep us and our families safe? And it is great to know that this year we kind of get back into the normalcy of it all. And we talked about Thanksgiving Day parade is going to be back to normal. So more and more signs of normalcy is what we need to see. But Timmy, we've had nothing but just abnormal shit going on in the NFL this year, and that kind of continued this past week. Got a lot to talk about, a lot of craziness, a lot of eliminated teams that we eliminated that are like trying to scratch and claw their way back. Like, screw you guys on the Unsportsmanlike Conduct show. We're not laying down. But we make no apologies on the show.
Nope.
Timmy, I was in Orlando for the weekend, so I had to catch up real quick on a lot of the highlights. Sports, I've been watching a lot of Sports Center. The game that they were showing where I was the Packers game. So that I saw, and then I got it in all the highlights, and somehow it's just the sheer luck of it all. Everybody was tired on Monday night by around 7:30. I had nothing to do with it. I didn't plant any seeds, but they were like, "Oh, we're a little tired. Let's go back to the room." I'm like, yes. uh, but it was another week in which a lot of gamblers lost a ton of money.
Including us.
I Yeah, it wasn't it was another crappy week for that kind of stuff. We got Thanksgiving games tomorrow, right? Which is always like Thanksgiving Day is. It doesn't matter what teams are playing. You turn the TV on, you put it on the games, and it just stays there. And it doesn't. It really doesn't matter.
Look, it's the only time of the year you see the Bears and the Lions really trying their best. So why not?
That's their national. That's their Super Bowl. That's their national TV game.
They know that every Thanksgiving they're going to be on. They're out there and they really try. I wouldn't be surprised if Detroit gets their first win tomorrow on Thanksgiving. I wouldn't be shocked.
Let's see. Maybe that's a sign of things to come.
Am I going to pick them this week? Probably not.
Oh, I can't wait.
But I wouldn't be surprised.
But there's a chance that Timmy might pick the Lions here, and that there's the that's how we build the intrigue on this bad boy. Terzio, I got my COVID booster 3 hours ago. I'm ready to take what? Take on to me. I don't know what that meant, but Thanksgiving.
You want to fight me because I got a booster?
Wait, you want to? No, I don't. Maybe he wants to bring some food to you.
Okay, that's good.
And he's saying, "I got my booster. I'm good. I'm like you like Iron Man now, Terzio."
I'm good to go, Frank. I'm good to go. Anytime you're ready. We can be friends, or we can be enemies.
Yeah, there's no sense. Listen,
hey, look, it's not baseball season. Let's calm it down a little bit. Don't be one of those guys.
And baseball season hurts right now. So before we get into
you guys are having a rough off season already. Sorry, Terzio.
All right. So listen, I had to I had to keep that. I had to get the tear to go back into.
Wait, I wanted to, real quick though. I know it's baseball. from what I heard up here was Mets re-signing Steven Matz. 5 minutes later, he's a Cardinal.
So
What
what
the hell?
happened was,
What happened there?
and here goes our owner acting as Steinbrenner would in the Twitter world, in the Twitterverse. So apparently it was, Cohen was promised by the agent, you'll get a final shot to match or beat the offer, whatever. So Cohen's like, okay, cool. So then, like you said, boom, Steve Matt signs with the Cardinals, 4 years, $44 million. Not that I'm like, oh, I'm so upset that we lost out on Matt's, but this is like the third one, third guy in a row. And then now the story's coming out is that Matt's had a
The other guy
Syndergaard went to the Angels.
that I know.
Loop, our best reliever, at
Luke, that's right.
.93 ERA last year. It was as locked down as you could possibly be. He goes to the Angels. 2 years, $18 million. I don't know if $9 million a year for Loop is the right amount, but still, he left the Metropolitans, went to the Angels. But now the story is that Mets had a change of heart. The Mets don't even have a coaching staff in place. But let's not.
Okay. Sorry I asked, but okay.
Cano is hurt, says Terzio. I just found that he returned to the winter league or the Venezuelan league. I know he was playing, but
I said it when you guys traded for him. It is a huge mistake.
Cheating bastard! You cheating bastard, Cano.
It was a huge mistake to trade for him. But he was just that throw-in guy.
Yeah, it was for it was a very expensive throwing guy. But it was for Edwin Diaz, who had a nice bounce back year and a half. But before we get to some of the craziness, but perhaps we'll be able to talk about some of the craziness. We do have a just a high-ranking member in both society and somewhat. When you talk about cancellations, that's where the high ranking comes in. But the host of the A to Z program, ladies and gentlemen, AZ himself, Mrs. Zant. What's going on, my friend?
Hello, fellas. Hey, great to be here on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Well, you don't have to lie. You don't have to start out with a lie.
What? Well, would it be me if I didn't, do my little euphemisms at all?
Yeah.
But no, awesome to be here. I've never been on. This is great. I feel honored to be a part of this little show here. This is great, guys.
Yeah, and just want to shout you out last week. You were number one last week in our picks. And
how?
I wish I would have laid some money on your picks last week. 11-4. Eric goes. I was lucky enough to go 10-5. I wasn't too far behind. Kyle and Joe at the bottom of the pack go 7-8. Timmy, you were somewhere in the middle here. 8. A lot of guys went 8-7. A couple 9-6. And then overall, AZ, your producers is he still your producer?
Yeah. I mean,
part-time.
Officially, yeah. He's relegated himself to a part-time basis, but yeah, he's still producer Dave.
Part-time producer Dave.
Part-time
gets to be a
Dave.
lot to say. He continues to lead the pack. He's up by 3 over his co-host on a show that I have not seen in months and months and months. The 4 Quarters show. He's 3 games up there. I'm 4 out. Timmy 5. Rodriguez 6. Eric, you're just about give or take. You're about 18 games off the mark.
And
but last week you were number 1.
Last week I was number 1, and let's face it, there cannot be a number 1 without a number 18. Somebody's got to be in last. Somebody has to.
I think that's reversed. There can't be a number 18 without a number 1.
I meant to say that. But no, I'm fine with it because I have fun. I like football. I have fun. I'm not the greatest sports analyst when it comes to football, but I do still have a passion for it, and I do love football, and I like being part of it. And it's, hey, if I'm last, I'm still having fun. So,
Well, you're not last. That's the thing of it all. Producer Joe who I will continue to just spur on here. Producer Joe, when right before he joined us here on Pop Culture Pros on site, he would constantly make fun of us, me mostly, of how our records look when we're picking not against the spread. So this is just not okay. This team's got to win by 6 points. It's like that's where it's hard. Producer Joe sits in last place at 81-69, 17 games off the mark.
Wow.
So, and Eric, you're actually 16 off the mark.
60. Okay. Now, do you guys want to know what my strategy? I'll tell you real quick before you get into it. My strategy, and I'm going to be honest with you, I approach things differently because I go on and I look at the guys that I don't want to like make one more prominent than the other, but I check and see who's saying what in the sports world and who's feeling what. But a lot of times I noticed I can't do that because this year has been such an up and down year that really nobody can accurately, because let's face it, there's guys
I'm losing a lot of money. I'm losing a lot of money.
And I'll be honest, you guys yourselves, like you and Tim particularly, are very, very well versed in predictions. So you guys do really well. And I do go off and I study what you guys do. But last week I said, you know what? I said, I'm gonna approach this differently. I am gonna go with the gut, the heart, and partly of the information. And I did that, and I said, you know what do I got to lose? I'll take a different approach, and I did it, and it worked out well. And I used the same approach this week. Not that I'm going to make out any better. I probably won't. But we'll see what happens. Like I said, it's fun. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's the bottom line of it all. But I do like to win. So I would
of course
just trying to get to Dave. I just one week. Maybe Dave will forget 1 week, but that might give him a good record. If the rule is if you don't send in your picks, you take all the away teams. Problem is all the away teams are doing damn good this year. All right, so AZ, appreciate you sticking around for you're more than welcome to stay however long you'd like. And we're going to talk some football from last week. I want to start off with the Thursday night game. Completely unfair. What the hell's going on up in Foxborough in New England with the Patriots? It's complete bullshit that they get one damn season, that they're down, and now, depending on what happens this week, they could be the number 1 seed in the AFC. What? Tim, talk to me. What the hell is going on?
I'll tell you exactly what it is. Ready?
There it is.
Oh.
Bill Belichick.
There he is.
Yes.
Belichick, Josh McDaniels, man. I mean, let me take a look like an idiot. It's yeah. Of course, Bunker was the one that comes out who gave you the scenario.
Of course.
During the Bills game, do you realize if the Bills lose, the Patriots are the number 1 in the AFC? Then it was like, you do realize if this, they will be the number 1 seed by next week. I said, holy shit. He is absolutely right. And that
leave it to that asshole to know every douchebag statistic. You know what I mean?
Patriots sniff a win. Yeah. He's all over the place.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I think Sam blocked him. I told him, "Aren't you snoozing?" You better just snoozing him for 30 days, so you don't get mad at all his posts. Yeah. But no, you know what, man? That's just it's equal parts. Like you said, we talk about it all the time. Did they pick the best guy for quarterback? Maybe not. Maybe so, but maybe they just picked the right guy. And sometimes that's way more important. And Mac Jones is looking like the real deal. So you know what? I gotta say, good for them.
And he's already he's got the he looks like he's 11, but he's got the I don't know the fire and whatnot, because the passion for sure, because I just saw that when one play where he missed his receiver by 5 inches. It wasn't like an awful pass, and he was furious that it was third down and 5. It would have gotten him the first down easily, but he's got that. He's got the fire, and I this is so irritating to be talking about the Patriots.
He's got the Belichick in him.
It is.
Well, so now, if you think about it, well, obviously Brady's already got the one up with the Super Bowl. But what was the talk when Brady left the Patriots? Now we're gonna find out. Is it the system? Is it the quarterback? Is it the coach? What's going on? So now it's we see how incredibly important the quarterback position is, right? So Brady leaves, goes win the Super Bowl. And the Patriots kind of tank. Cam Newton was not the right guy, still not the right guy for any team because he can't throw. But now you bring in a Mac Jones, and here we go. Patriots are 7-4, and could be not this week, but the following week. It's the Patriots and the Bills.
Yeah,
twice they still got to play.
Yeah, which is weird. It's going to be December, and they'll have not played yet. Almost December. I think it's that last weekend of November, the 29th or so, 28th. Your Eagles, Mr. Zant. We counted your Eagles out weeks ago.
Yeah,
and they're now 5-6. They just beat the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurts is looking like a good quarterback, and
not bad.
3 rushing touchdowns in a game. Scored 3 touchdowns.
We counted them out because we thought the Cowboys were going to be running away with it. Now they've lost twice since then. So now that division is still open as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, we did make a mistake as far as writing them off, but that was just because the Cowboys are playing so good.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to see like the Eagles have a quarterback that's back to the rushing. Has a strong rushing game, because like I feel as an Eagle fan going back to when I first started them, of course Randall Cunningham, and there's no denying Randall Cunningham was a great talent. Had his problems, had his injuries.
Later,
Frank.
But he was phenomenal. One of my favorite all-time players. Then of course Michael Vick. When he left the Falcons and went to jail, and then came back. Another, but there's no denying Michael Vick's athletic prowess. He was a very, 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 very good rushing quarterback, and he had a good arm. And now, then we had Carson Wentz, and then Nick Foles won the Super Bowl for him, and the quarterback position was kind of in limbo for a long time. But I was excited. It kind of brought back old Eagle memories for me. It made me feel good. And what do we have? We got you guys this week, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So
the show is canceled. Your show is canceled if the Eagles win.
If the Eagles win, I'm done. Well, what's funny is one of my coworkers is a diehard Giants fan, and I said, Marty, it's Eagles and Giants, and he's like, oh, the Giants are gonna blow it. I said, no. I said, because every time the Eagles get on a roll and they start doing well, then they go up against the Giants and they lose. So I picked the Eagles, but I'm not counting on it, because somehow the Giants always manage to find the Eagles' number, and they. I mean, I know it goes both ways. I know the Eagles have beat the Giants a lot. But
Eric, here's a fun fact for you.
Give me one.
They were able to put on Monday Night Football a little scroller thing there. No big deal. Just showed that the Giants are off to their best start since 2018 at 3-6. 3 wins, 6 losses, best start since 2018. That's kind of all I gotta say about that.
Yeah, depending on how we finish, we might have to cancel. We stomped you out for just 1 year to see if they play good. Because ever since we started this show, they've been terrible.
They have been awful. Maybe get rid of Gettleman and we'll see what happens. Well,
that's true too.
We might find out it's the jinx. Maybe it's Tim had the jinx against the Titans. That's gone away. Maybe it's us. Maybe it's
Steve, you brought up a good point before when you were talking about the Patriots when Brady left, and they said, okay, we can see if it's the system or the quarterback. And a lot of people it's not a lie. A lot of people like to discount Eli Manning. They say, oh, it's just the team he's got behind him. But obviously, we know now that, at least I feel, that the quarterback is and we obviously, layman's terms, of course, the quarterback's an integral part, but the good quarterback is what kind of binds everybody together, motivates them as a team. And there's no doubt that Eli Manning was a great quarterback. I won't even doubt that.
Hall of Famer, baby.
My son's name is Eli, so
yes,
by proxy, I have to like Eli Manning. But no, he's a great quarterback, great talent. But no, I feel that maybe the Giants had a bit of a shock when he left, and that they, because he was the New York quarterback for how long? Beat Brady and the unbeatable team twice. So come on,
screw you, Bunker.
Everybody likes giving Eli a hard time. I mean, and comparing him to his brother, and that's unfair because they're two different players. They play differently. They have a different game about them. It's just, but Eli, I was going to call him Elijah, like my son.
That's only when he's in trouble. That's when he puts up the double bird on national TV. Yeah. He gets called Elijah.
Or Frank's Red Hot. I put that shit on everything.
Yeah.
But no, Eli Manning's a great quarterback, and I just thought I wanted to mention that because it correlates to, like you said, with the Giants start. They're the 3-6, and I'm not saying they've been terrible since he left, but they seem to have lost a little, filling that position. It's tough.
No, they were terrible his last 2 years too.
They've been terrible since the certain photograph was taken on a certain boat.
Yeah, but
that's our curse.
That's our curse.
Eli was a great quarterback, man. There's no way anybody can dispute that. They can't.
What do we call that, Tim? Like the Timberlands on the boat curse.
Yeah, that's what I call it.
Tim's on the boat.
Don't worry, your Tim's on a yacht curse. Idiots.
All right. Look, the next game up for last week was the Dolphins and the Jets. The Dolphins came out victorious in what is mostly a shitfest. But do you know that the Miami Dolphins, if they win this week, they will go 5-7. Then they've got the Giants and the Jets, and then don't look now, but the Dolphins will be at 500 at that point. And I don't know if we'll take a look in a few weeks. We're not there yet, Dolphins, but they're showing some Tua letting them loose.
No.
Sorry, Terzio. Oh, Terzio had a run. I forgot. Yeah. Sorry, didn't talk about his team.
When they beat someone other than the Jets, we'll talk.
Yeah.
Or the Giants. Yeah. Then we'll see.
Well, they beat the Ravens. That was last week, right? So maybe the Ravens is the jumping off point, and then you got the Jets, Panthers, Giants, Jets again. And anyway, moving right along here, the Washington football team, they beat the Panthers 27-21. Cam Newton looking like the Cam Newton that did not play well last year in Patriotsville. And really, here's the big thing. The guy who did most of the work last week in the game management and whatnot is an XFL quarterback. Cam Newton, yes, he got placed at the 1 yard line twice, right? Or the 2 yard line twice. So that easy-ish touchdowns, as easy as you can get in the NFL. But really, the rest of the game was managed by an XFLer who went 22 for 29. For the rest of the way, and then you got a great running game. Mm-hmm. So I know it was all about Cam Newton screaming to the camera with that stupid 15-yard penalty. He scored 2 touchdowns in his first two snaps last week. Great story. The city loves him. Great, fantastic. But you're playing the game of football here. This is not who Charlotte loves me.
He's not a franchise quarterback. He's done. He's not your long-term solution. Yeah, they love him today. But when they don't make the playoffs, it's like, who are we going to play quarterback? Who's going to play quarterback? We need to draft a quarterback. That's all bullshit.
And there's no quarterbacks this year.
No.
and they're paying 3 of them. Aren't they paying Bridgewater still?
Yes.
And they're paying this guy, Sam Darnold.
Now Cam.
Darnold.
Now Cam.
And now Cam Newton. That's worse than the Jets.
It is.
All right, here's the one. I lost money on this one for sure. Colts and the Bills. Colts and Bills. I had I somehow finagled a 3-team teaser where it was really just I just needed the team to win. It was either by half a point or 1 point. Bills was one of them. I'm doing my thing at the theme park. I looked down. Look, what the hell is going on? Carson Wentz. What's Carson Wentz? Oh, Jonathan Taylor scored 7,000 touchdowns. So
5 touchdowns, unbelievable.
So I'll start, Timmy. What's it like in Bills? Kind of fandom right now. 6-4.
No, it's rough. It's not only that though. This isn't a, when they lost to the other teams, I was thinking, well, maybe they're a little ahead of themselves. Maybe they're, they're reading the headlines, drinking the Kool-Aid. Now, I think they're in serious shit. This week, by the way, my brother-in-laws are in New Orleans right now.
They need to be.
They need to be. They're in the Big Easy? They're in the Big Easy?
Josh and Zach are there for tomorrow's game.
Wow. Going to eat some Cajun chicken, Cajun turkey.
Must win. Must win. Because if not, they're done. I'm sorry, but they are done. Because the Patriots are hot.
You think so?
Yes, because it's not a matter of schedule and record. It's going to be a mental thing for them.
Yeah,
it's really is because I picked them to go to the Super Bowl. Many people picked them to go to the Super Bowl.
The Bills,
to run the gambit. They picked a lot of people picked them.
No,
losing the way they've been losing and how they've been losing. Tomorrow is a must-win game if I've ever seen one in my life. Because now it's not just a mental. There is something wrong with this team.
There's a make or break. You're saying.
And to be honest with you, it's the running game. It's the running game. You have. Moss is okay, and what's his name? The other guy's okay.
Singletary
is okay, and now they have Breda, whatever he is.
Matt Breida. He was good, 3 years ago in San Francisco.
I mean, you have three average to good quarterbacks. You don't have one. Running backs. You don't have one good one to great one, which is what that team needs. They need a running game. They need a running game to take the pressure off Josh Allen and let those wide receivers get open. They lose tomorrow. Ooh, it's going to be a rough year from Buffalo.
Yeah.
If they lose tomorrow and the Dolphins win on Sunday, it is a game and a half separation between the Bills and the Dolphins.
The only good thing about that is the Bills have the tiebreaker over the Dolphins because they beat them twice.
Yeah. But think about that. Think about how far off in the standings they were, and especially us talking about the teams. Buffalo and the Dolphins were heading in different directions, and now potentially after this week, there could be a game and a half difference between the two, and that's because of a bye week.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
It is.
So they didn't just lose; they got whooped up on 41-15, and
that was just. Hey, what have we been saying since the beginning?
That was a beatdown.
The Colts are the best 0-3 team. The Colts are the best 1-4 team. The Colts are a damn good team. They just got to put it all together.
They're not bad. 6-5.
Yeah, they're not bad.
They are a huge. And Quentin Nelson got to stop getting hurt every week. Stop getting hurt every week, Quentin Nelson.
And this is kind of like what we talked about. This is very similar to the situation in Tennessee, where you have this elite running back, and you get this guy at quarterback that all you're really doing is saying, "Don't make any mistakes."
Yeah.
And Carson Wentz has not made many mistakes this week. This year, playing for the Colts. So Jonathan Taylor scores 5 touchdowns, 200 plus yards, and got me a victory in one of my leagues. Lions, Browns. I can't. This is the one game, guys. I did not even watch the highlights. 13-10. I can only imagine how awful this thing was to sit through. Baker Mayfield, stop it. He's not a good quarterback. How is Baker Mayfield a good quarterback? Tell me how Baker. Where's Dave? Somebody tell me how Baker Mayfield is a good quarterback without saying, "Well, your quarterback's Daniel Jones." Without saying that,
I can't.
The only thing I'll say is that he is hurt a lot.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I'll say against him. Other than that, no, he hasn't proven it. But he got a bad shoulder. He got a bad ankle.
Good.
He's banged up. That's the only way I'll defend him. Other than that, no, you're right. I'm beginning to stomp on that yeast.
Stomp on the yeast. You get into the point where the owners of the yeast have to make a decision on: are we extending this guy? Are we cutting him loose? Are they going to be in the same situation the Giants are, where it's like, all right, it doesn't make sense to kind of cut him loose based on what's available because Aaron Rodgers is not going to Cleveland. All right,
No.
it's no chance. Russell Wilson is not okaying a trade to Cleveland. Sierra is not living in Cleveland. So when you're a team like the Browns, you got to kind of take what you get, right?
Yeah.
Yep, basically.
49ers and Jags, that was another whooping. Jimmy Garoppolo is he's playing pretty good. They are the Tennessee Titans without the elite running back. But they got Deebo Samuel coming out as running back, wide receiver. I don't know what else he's going to do. Maybe he'll play corner maybe one week. But George Kittle has a touchdown in 3 straight games. It's the longest streak of his career. That doesn't
Remember the
compute with me.
first 2 games he was missing in action.
Oh, yeah.
He was getting dropped by fantasy teams left and right. Now all of a sudden, he's had 3 straight games.
All right, here's where injuries caught up with the team this week, and that's the Titans. They lost to the Texans 22-13. I went back and watched this game, and Tannehill was just a disaster. It was just one. It's one of those games, but is this going to now lead to, all right, this is the new Tennessee Titans. This is how it's going to go. They were riding a high a couple weeks after Derrick Henry got hurt. Julio Jones is out. They just cut Adrian Peterson. Their replacement for Derrick Henry. So, Timmy, do you think that they can kind of stay afloat until they get Derrick Henry back, which is supposedly the first week of January, that last week of this new extended season?
You know what?
They're 8-3.
Looking how the AFC is and the way everything's been, yeah, I think they can actually stay afloat. Who's out there really dominating? Nobody.
No.
Nobody. I think both conferences are wide open. I don't think I've ever remembered in all my years of watching football where anyone can lose at any time. All the divisions are wide open. All the conferences are wide open. So yeah, I think Tennessee, Kansas City's made a nice comeback. Baltimore are your, like Randy Savage was saying, they're the cream of the crop right now in the AFC. And Buffalo should be, but again, I don't know what's going on in Buffalo.
There's still time for them to right their ship, but it's getting like
it's not cutting time.
Right. Every week you're like, okay, the Bills are going to be the Bills this week. They lost to Jacksonville. Okay, they're going to stomp, and they crush the Dolphins, and then you're like, all right, the Bills are getting their group back together, and then it just doesn't work out. Tennessee's got a big matchup come this week coming up. Packers and the Vikings, which is the one game that I got to watch, and it was fantastic. Back and forth. Super interesting is that we talk about these close plays, right? Even with the Giants, there was a couple of plays at the beginning of the year, non-calls or calls when they shouldn't have been, and maybe you're looking at a different type of a 5-6 versus a 3-7, those kind of things. The Vikings, they showed on one of the shows that I watch. I don't even know anymore. They all mold together, but they showed 3 definitive plays. And we know some of that is the field goal kicking and whatnot, but 3 definitive plays that would have allowed this team to be 8-2 instead of 5-5. So wow. It's that's the craziness of the year of the season. They got a quarterback who's thrown 2 interceptions all year. Dalvin Cook went out. They plugged in Madison right behind him. He did what Dalvin Cook does. And now you got Jefferson going off for 169 yards, couple touchdowns. Very good for fantasy football. I don't put too much stock into this with the Packers losing unless that toe injury with Rodgers which supposedly he aggravated further, unless that becomes a big thing.
Yeah.
Any disagreements there, Timmy, Eric?
No,
I mean,
no, not with me. No, I agree with you 100%.
Shouldn't Aaron Rodgers should be able to heal anything.
Yeah, he's like the well, we
Just
already
call
know
Dr.
that.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, he's immune to COVID, and he can cure it with taking Metamucil or whatever it was he said he was taking, and the body's natural. Whatever, that guy's.
He's gonna cut some of his hair and wrap it around his toe, and it'll magically.
He's gonna put it in a Joe Rogan rolling paper and smoke it.
Exactly. I'll be ready to go.
He's going with he's going to continue growing out the hair. He said I'm going with it, going with the flow.
Whatever flow. Until they lose in the playoffs. Then we'll see.
I gotta say, on a side note on the COVID thing, have you guys seen the crazy story of people who have already been vaccinated that didn't want to be vaccinated, and now they're like they're doing medical procedures on each other. They're like putting like little cuts in their back, and they're trying to flush out the vaccine from their back.
You're kidding me.
I shit you not. This is a thing that's happening.
Oh my God.
Watch next week. It's gonna be the lead story on the Joe Rogan show.
Oh, of course.
Dude, just take a toilet plunger to your back. It'll solve everything.
Why do they just real quick? Can't you just accept, like, okay, I don't want the vaccine, I won't get it. I do, people that get the vaccine, let them get it. But like, why does this always have to turn into this whole, like, what these fucking wackos just come out of the woodwork? And then, you hear things from Joe Rogan or from, whoever. It's like, okay, well, that's got to be right, because Joe Rogan hunts elk and, everything. So
definitely got to be careful of who you're listening to with that kind of stuff. Because what you're no doubt gonna hear stories of people who've died of infections because they cut their back and are using a toilet plunger to suck out the vaccine.
Yeah, they'll covered in shit. Yeah, covered in shit. So you're gonna get septic. Oh, it wasn't COVID that killed me. I was septic from the toilet plunger. See,
the vaccine killed me.
That kills more people.
Exactly.
Plungers kill more people than COVID. Oh, I know.
6 degrees of separation. All right, Ravens go in without their quarterback with an illness, and they still lose. They lose to the Bears still lose. They lose 16-13, which is a win for the New York Football Giants as we have their pick. Here is an alarm going off at epic volumes that your coach should probably be fired. The Chicago Bears have lost 8 straight games following a bye week.
That's bad.
You have 2 weeks to game plan. At least you got 0-8.
0-8.
Doing. All right, moving right along here. The Bengals whooped up on the Raiders. No surprise there. The Raiders the last few years have started off 6-3 and 5-3 and 6-4 and have shit the bed. This year they got legitimate reasons. Their coach, he said some not so great things. Their wide receiver, 156 miles an hour, killed somebody and their dog. And then who was it, Timmy, putting up videos about guns and threatening people.
Both their number one picks from last year are now longer with the team. One's a murderer and the other one's a gun-toting moron.
And Ruggs has, and they both do, but Ruggs always seem to have one or two big plays downfield, from a football perspective. We know what he did was all jacked up, and he should, needless to say, never play football again for the rest of his life, unless it's, a la the longest yard. But, all that being said, this is the year that they have an excuse to fold. All that stuff going on, and then their quarterback isn't playing well at all. No. I don't know if he's definitely missing his and we talked about this after Gruden left. Timmy, remember we had that discussion where Gruden was Carr's biggest fan. So now Carr just lost his biggest fan in the franchise. Probably the reason why he's with the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, but then he goes out on a limb and says, "I'll be his friend." Like now he's taking media. Thankfully, it's for him. It's Vegas and not New York. But you say those kind of things after a guy just said this and that, and then the other thing about X, Y, and Z. It's just a cluster there, Tim. I guess the one thing for us, we're Giants fans. Let's just be thankful we're not Raiders fans. I think I'd rather be a Jet fan at this point than a Raiders fan.
That
organization, Eagle fan.
That organization's always been screwed up, though. Always been screwed.
Always.
The Raiders, even like L.A. and Oakland.
Yeah, the Davis family. They I guess they're too lenient to. How many years in a row do they pick a wide receiver, a fast guy for their first pick? So you need 3 linemen and a quarterback, wide receiver.
Well, then they get the quarterback, and what's his name? What was his name?
Oh, Jamarcus Russell.
Jamarcus Russell.
And he was the worst quarterback in the history of the draft.
The worst. These days, Joe Flacco and then Cam Newton, they're throwing ducks into the ground. He was doing it from week 2.
Yeah.
He made that cool.
Yeah, he was bad news.
All right, Cardinals go in and beat the Seahawks. I think we'll discuss when we get to our picks, but I think it's time for potentially the Seahawks to be eliminated from our playoff discussion. No, down a quarterback, down their quote unquote best wide receiver, and they still go in there. Russell Wilson does not look good. I don't know if this is the finger that's still bothering him, or if he's just lost complete interest in being in Seattle.
I see both.
A little bit of both.
So, gentlemen, I have to bow out.
Do it, buddy. Appreciate you joining us.
I appreciate.
When's your next show? Tell everybody.
Well, real quick, everybody, the next A to Z program will be coming to you on Sunday, this coming Sunday, which will be the 26th, 7th, 28th, and it'll be at 7 p.m. And I've got a doozy of a show lined up already. I don't want to give anything away till I do the promo, but all I'm going to say is stay tuned. Keep joining in for the fun and the laughs, and I appreciate everybody who watches, and I appreciate you guys. So you guys are always welcome. Feel free to pop in and have a couple laughs. And thanks for having me here today, guys. Anytime you want to fill in for your absentee producer. You know what? That's what I'm here for. I'm all about it. I'm a company man. That contract I signed is legit. So anyway, guys, happy Thanksgiving. Everybody be safe and healthy.
Right back at you.
Good night, my friends.
Catch you later.
Good night. All right. Obviously, the game that made me the happiest of the week: Cowboys and the Chiefs. Chiefs win again, 19-9. They've won 4 straight. The Cowboys can't. All this talk about. Before last week. Remember we was the last week's show or the week before? We talked about the adjustments that the Chiefs are kind of making on defense, and it certainly showed against the Cowboys. Obviously, the problem with the Chiefs is that there's literally no depth there. So one guy goes out, and the defense feels like it's going to fall right back apart. But very impressive victory over the Cowboys, who have been putting up a lot of numbers against decent defenses. And then you go in against the Chiefs, who is supposed to be this shitty defense. I feel a little bit better that the Giants couldn't do much the week before, because I'll admit I wasn't expecting the Giants to beat the Chiefs, but I was expecting the Giants to do something, like that meme with the stick, do something. Yeah. But this makes me feel a little bit better. Nobody could do anything. You have any thoughts on this? The Cowboys finally play a good team, and this is what happens. Well, like our buddy Kyle says, frauds. No, I don't know if they're frauds, but no, I hate giving them any kind of credit whatsoever. But I won't put this on the Cowboys. I will say the Chiefs, like you said, have finally learned and made some goddamn adjustments like they're supposed to. And they're looking like
the team they've been for the last 2 years. Offensively, they're still not there.
No.
But defensively, yes, they've made some nice adjustments. They're starting to win because now I think they figured it out. Wait a minute. We're not scoring 40 points a game anymore. Maybe we should fix this defense. Duh. Yeah, maybe you freaking should. So that's exactly what they've done the last couple of weeks. They only scored 19 points. But guess what? They only gave up what, 9?
19 to 9.
That's
maybe Plax called him.
Maybe.
Defense wins, guys. The defense wins.
That's probably exactly. I mean, maybe the light went off. Like, holy shit, you're right. We're not scoring 45, 40 points anymore. We better play defense.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. I'm not taking anything away from the Cowgirls. I'm really not, because I said I think they're unfortunately they're going to be a good team now for the next couple of years. That's why we really have to the Giants have to get their shit together fast. The Cowboys are going to run with the division for the next 5 years easily.
Yep.
So, but no, I'm gonna say it's more Chiefs being better than the Cowboys being worse.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on that. And the Chiefs can be just as scary a team, scoring between 19 and 27 points.
Yeah.
With that defense.
Yeah.
As they were when they were, it was 40 a game. Yep. I think it was Bill Simmons last year. He's like, I'm just going to put money on the Chiefs every single week. They're going to kill their opponents. So they're going to win me 13 out of 16 bets. So that's what they were last year. Now they've got to kind of morph into a different kind of team. It's like the tail end of a great flamethrowers career.
Yeah.
You got to make the adjustments and become more of a finesse pitcher, right? So
exactly.
That's what it is. But now they're 7-4. We were talking about a few weeks ago they were in last place. So they were once 3-4, and now they've kind of righted the ship 7-4
Hey,
now.
That's football, man. A four game winning
that's what
streak
makes it crazy.
In any other sport means nothing. 4-game winning streak in football means everything.
Massive. Sunday night, Steelers. I did get a chance to watch this game also. Steelers and Chargers. What a crazy freaking game that was. Back and forth. It was like the Chargers of old. Let's get the lead, then let's cough it all the way up.
Oh, let's get a massive lead and cough it all the way up. I shut that game off, thinking, And when I come back on, I'm like, why are we going into overtime? Why is this game still on? I'm like, why is it midnight and I'm still watching football at this point? I was like, I can't believe that they actually that they made that even possible for the Steelers to win that game.
Yeah,
unreal.
Austin Eckler, 4 touchdowns, 2 receiving, 2. Like he is the 1B to McCaffrey. He does it all, except for that one play where I'm like, you don't run. If you need an inch, you need 2 inches. You need a yard. Don't run your 5'9" guy right into the pile of 400-pound behemoths. Maybe go a different route there, and maybe not have to go in overtime. But one of the better games of the year. High scoring, constant action. Big Ben heard me. He's like, Faraci, you're not saying that about me. I'm not going to let it happen. I'm not retiring. I'm going to go lead this team. Put up some points. But that's what it was. That was a Sunday night game. Monday night game, Giants and the Bucks. It's what it is.
Garbage.
Total trash.
The only good thing about the Monday night game was I was losing to the auto drafter. and I was like, I'm losing to the auto drafter? So I went to our matchup and I said, oh, he has no other players left. I had Brady, Godwin, and the Bucks defense. So literally, I was sitting here watching the game. I pass. I won. It was over. I was like, I won. That's it. The first 4 passes, Godwin caught 2 of them, whatever it was. I was like, okay, I just won my matchup. I'm good. And then I ended up scoring 195 against him with his 140, whatever it was.
I think I played the Stugatz Army, which is Kyle. And
frauds.
He made me sweat this one out. He had Aaron Rodgers who put up 55 points.
Listen,
But I won by 4.
I'm burying Stugatz this week. They're done this week.
Oh,
I'm burying them this week.
a little elimination talk here. Bert, we have to have a conversation with Bert. Bert is 4-7. He put up 76 points last week. The team that he faced, and I as commissioner, this irritates me because it's like it's the sanctity of the game. But he left Lamar Jackson in there. He left his tight end who's on a bye in there. Obviously, sometimes you got stuff going on. He still beat him by 30 points. So what? He had all right. So Lamar Jackson with 0, obviously. Dalvin Cook 22.5. That was a saving grace. Amari Cooper didn't play. He's injured. He kept him in the game. Najee Harris, but then Brandon Ayuk with 22 points, which finally Brandon Ayuk is playing some out there in San Francisco. And then the Patriots. I have 3 fantasy leagues. I played the Patriots defense in 2 out of the 3 leagues. They put up 26 fantasy points. Most of that happening in the last 2 minutes of the. I forgot to mention that. He had 3 quarterbacks come in, three quarterbacks throw interceptions in the last minute and a half of the game. Unbelievable. Yeast Rising, they squeaked out a victory against Third and Schlong. You were the top scorer again. You're making me nervous, Tim.
I'm coming, man. I'm coming. Me and you in the finals.
We're tied now. We're 8-3. We each have 100% playoff chance because there's only 2 games left. There's 13 weeks, so we have a 2-game lead on Team Autocorrect, as you call them. Crushers are 3 games out. Stugatz, that's it. This is it for you. If 4-7, you lose this week, you're done. You have a 16% chance right now to make it to the playoffs.
Stugatz out this week. And I haven't talked shit this whole year yet.
Do it.
But I've won 7 straight, so I'm happy.
You should do it, though. You should definitely talk some shit. As a Cowboy fan on top of it, no. And then on the other side, I mean, we might have a situation here where the Crushers are 5. We might have a sub 500 team to make the playoffs.
And they'll win the whole goddamn thing.
It's a team that gets hot. We know that.
Yeah.
Always. All right. So that was it. The Bucks continue to roll. They're 5-0 at home this year. They're 2-3 on the road. So that could play into some of the stuff that goes on in the coming weeks. So let's get into what's going to be happening this week and some of the craziness that is bound to happen. Just looking up and down, the Vegas is starting to get into this. They're like, oh, wait a second, we don't know what the hell's going on this year.
Yeah,
these crazy 11-point spreads and 17-point spreads ain't working out for us. So you'll notice that there's only a handful of games that are 5 points or more. The parity is here. I think 7.5 might be the biggest spread of the week. When, Tim, you remember earlier in the year, we were talking about 18-point spreads and 19-point spreads. Crazy shit. But let's get into it, and let's do it. Let's start it off here. The Bears and the Lions. I have been teasing for weeks that I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions here in this game. And I am not going to let anybody down. I am going with the Detroit Lions. Not only, and who's their quarterback? Their quarterback is TB12. Not to be confused with the other guy. But Tim. Every time I hear the guy's name, who do I think of? I think of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Doyle, Tim Doyle. His name is Boyle though, but I think of Doyle. All right, Timmy, let's see. Are you going to join me? Are you bold enough to join me?
I swore I wouldn't pick them for the rest of the year. But then you forget that they play the Bears on Thanksgiving.
They are. They are. It sucks, but their coach is going to get fired on Thanksgiving night. Did you hear the reporter asking the question?
No, I
the
didn't
other
hear that
day?
part.
He says the reporter says, "Hey, Nagy, the rumors are that they've already told you what's going to happen to you. How many more games you have left, and this is going to be the last one. What do you got to say?"
Wow, that's balls.
Balls, man. And he
balls.
says nobody's talked to me about that. And then 2 hours later, he canceled a meeting ad with the players. And then he comes back out and says, all is good.
Yeah, all is good. You know what? I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back to this.
All right.
I'll give you my answer today, but I want to come back. I'll come back.
Yes.
To it.
Mull it over. The Bears are a 3.5-point favorite in Detroit. That's the first game that we get.
And they lost Khalil Mack for the year.
Khalil Mack is out for the season.
All right, I'll come back. We'll come back. I'll come back to that one.
I say Mr. Swift, who's on 2 of my fantasy teams, goes off again. And what do they do? That don't they do like a turkey presentation at the end of the game or something like that? Oh yeah, he's gonna be chomping down on that bad boy. All right, next up, the Vegas Raiders head to Dallas to play the Cowboys. Cowboys are a 7-point favorite here. I'll let you start with this one.
Yeah, as the Giants cannot play on Monday nights, the Cowboys play really, really well on Thanksgiving. So I am going to go with the Cowboys.
Yeah, this is an easy. This might be the most lopsided game of the year of the week. With the Raiders, they're just a disaster. They really have Hunter Renfrow at wide receiver. They got Waller, who, by the way, if you go back and look at his stats, through the weeks, he had 19 targets week 1. Everybody went nuts, anointed him the best tight end in all of football. And then, Kelsey struggled for a couple of games. Kittle was hurt, so Darren Waller is the best. You don't hear about him any. 63 yards here and 58 yards there. He gets his one off here, but that's a mess of an organization right now. So easy as I can go for the not go for the Cowboys, but pick the Cowboys to win. Next up, Buffalo Bills. Here we go. Make or break Buffalo at New Orleans. It was announced about 30 or so minutes ago. Alvin Kamara is out for this game, and his backup might not play either. So you might not have any running backs. You have a half of a quarterback. I'm going Buffalo here. They're going to do it. They got to do it.
I'm going Buffalo strictly because they have to fucking win this game. They have to win. They have no choice but to beat this team. If they don't, they're done. Not done, but I mean, they're like, their confidence is going to be shattered.
They're on life support. If you got other teams that are starting to make a I don't know, say a move, but just looking at the standings here the
AFC it's way too close.
This is right now they're the 7 seed.
Yeah,
you got Pittsburgh a game or no, Pittsburgh, yeah. Well, they have the tie. That's why.
Tiebreaker over them.
Stupid tie. They got the tiebreaker and they got the tie. So they might wind up with less losses, same amount of wins, and sneak into the playoffs over them. And oh, by the way, you got the Colts right behind them at 6-5. So the Colts
will also now have the tiebreaker.
Right, exactly, and they're only a half game behind. They're 6-5. The Bills are 6-4. I wouldn't be worried. I don't know. I don't see a way for the Browns to climb over the Colts, the Steelers, and Buffalo to get in there. But stranger things have happened. They're 6-5, Colts 6-5. But I feel like those two teams are still going opposite directions there. And then you got the Raiders and the Broncos at 5-5. Then you got the sneaky ass Dolphins who are 4-7, could be 7-7 in a few weeks.
The Colts are the best 6-5 team in the football.
Yes.
I'm gonna say it every week.
It's unbelievable. 6-5. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's the only two teams at 6-5 are them and the Browns. So yeah, that's
I'm not
100%
lying.
accurate.
I'm not lying.
You are not lying. Speaking of the Colts, the Bucks, who are 2-3 on the road, do the Colts. Tim, I'm gonna make a case here. Do the Colts upset the hell out of the Bucks here in Indianapolis? They've won several in a row. The Bucks are 2-3 on the road. The Colts are they're 500 team at home, but remember they're just starting to pick it up. Do they have enough? Jonathan Taylor, is that enough? So here with teams like the Colts and the Titans, when Henry is right and not injured, if you get up by 10 points, it's so incredibly difficult for the other team to come back, no matter who it is. In my thought, because you got Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor who can just straight up run the ball. Mm-hmm. You can have a couple of 8-minute drives in there, just holding the other team down. But I'll let you start with this one.
I'm gonna go with the Bucks. I think the Bucks are. I think after their own coach called them stupid, I think they're gonna right that ship and play a hell of a lot better. They did, of course. I mean, it was only the Giants, of course, but they played a lot better. That game was closer than it should have been too, but it was still a blowout. So figure that out.
Exactly.
Figure that out. That's not a riddle. That's actually true if you think about it.
It's our lives.
That's it.
So Brady goes into Indianapolis, and I was listening to Bill Simmons today, and he makes a point. Remember, we've talked about guys like Brady and Jordan. They make things up just to have some ammunition, and this is not a made up thing. You know, it's the Colts who originally came out and said, "Hey, you know, they're watching people," or the Deflategate, one of the two. It was the Colts, and Bill Simmons was like, Brady hasn't forgotten that. Brady has not forgot. Brady's going to run up the score, and that's it. So, I really want to pick the Colts in this game, but I'm not going to. Should I? 2-3 on the road, Tim.
I don't think that means anything.
I know. I just don't want to pick the Bucks, but I really like what the Colts are doing out there. I think they're doing it the right way, right?
They're 1 or 2 players away from being one of the elite teams.
Yeah. I'm going with the Bucks.
Welcome to the dark side.
All right. Next up, Battle of the Elites down in Houston. It is the New York Jets at the Houston Texans. Texans are a 3-point favorite here against the Jets. Flacco is COVID, right? Flacco is COVID. Mike White has COVID, or was exposed to COVID. So now you back to Mr. Wilson out there, Zachariah.
Speaking of somebody who looks like he's 14, they showed him on the screen the other day. I said, "Is that someone's kid?" I had no idea. I was like, "Holy shit! No, that's Zach Wilson, the quarterback." I was like, "Oh my god, he looks like he's 12."
The biggest, and it's so Jets, but it's hard for us to say that these days. But the fact that Joe Benigno from the Fan, so he was on the New York podcast that's on the Bill Simmons network with John Jastrzemski, and so he was on, and he was just talking about how the Jets are always kind of like flailing and whatnot, and how what's the coach's name? Our coach.
Who's coach? Our coach or the Jets coach?
Back in the day, he played coach for the Jets too. He coached for New England. Can't think of his name. It's Parcells. My God, he's.
I used to Parcells.
I'm watching him on the Manning broadcast in my mind, and I'm like, I can't think of his freaking name. But he was going to town on him about who he didn't like and who he didn't like, and he thinks it's a conspiracy theory these days that Mike White was exposed to COVID when the Jets clearly don't want a quarterback controversy. He's like, it would be just like the Jets find out he was nowhere near anybody with COVID.
Remember, we talked about it for like 2 weeks. This is what's going on right now. This is what's going on with the Jets right now. You know real quick too, because Terzio's gone. I'm going to save that little nugget. Remember the Bill and the Bill special, the 30 for 30?
Yeah.
Remember when neither one of them wanted to set foot in the Jets locker room?
Yes.
How fucking great was that? They were like, we're not going to the Jets. Fuck no, we're not going to that Jet. I was like, dude, that right there sums up your entire organization. You know what I mean? With Sergio, that's next time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'll make sure to remind you.
I'll hit
him. Hey, Terzio. All right, who you got in the shit fest?
You know they lost. You know their running back, their rookie running back, fantasy wise, has been phenomenal. I actually have him on one of my teams, and I have him too. I threw him at the flex this week. Thank God he got hurt, but
he's hurt. He's going to be out for 2 or 3 weeks, I think.
So I'm going. I said between COVID and the running back gone,
and they have one of the most talented wide receivers. So the Jets might be a closer than the Giants are because they, depending on how their quarterback is, but they got a good running back in the draft, and is Elijah Moore on a wide receiver, and he's great. So. Yeah, potential, but for me, not this Sunday. I think the Texans win.
Yeah, too many hurt, too many COVID, fake or not, they're all out. Texans at home.
Falsifying Eagles at the Giants.
Eagles. I'm not going to get into the discussion.
Ditto.
Just the Eagles.
If you want to see us get angry, you go watch the We Stomped You Out show. Yeah, all right. Panthers and sorry. Here, the Eagles are 3.5-point favorite. Panthers are a 1-point favorite in Miami against the Dolphins. Basically a pick'em game here. So, Timmy,
I like the way McCaffrey's been playing since he came back. This is a hard one too.
But here's my thing in this game. I don't want to bury the guy too much. He can do certain things. I just don't think Cam Newton can be an every down quarterback anymore.
No, I don't think so
either. But does Cam Newton offset the greatness that McCaffrey is bringing to the field? Like, does that team have to work? Like, the offensive line have to work harder because Newton just tossed 2 into the ground, and now you got to work. Now you got to protect on a screen to McCaffrey to make up the 12 yards on the third down. Like those kind of things kind of weigh in my mind when you got a quarterback Newton.
Can't the same be said about Tua? I know he hasn't been playing okay lately, but that's why
100%.
I'm a little torn here with this game. But
Raul, what's up, man? Happy Thanksgiving.
Up, you too, brother. I'm gonna do the old and take the home team. Dolphins.
Same. I'm doing the same thing with the thought that McCaffrey can go off on this game, like off, because the Dolphins in their quote unquote resurgence, they've been blitzing the hell out of team. They blitzed the hell out of Lamar Jackson, and you saw what happened there. So dump off passes might be the name of the game come Sunday in that game. Here's the game that I was talking about earlier. Big game for both teams really. Tennessee's 8-2. They have a bit of a buffer there. Patriots 7-4. They can leave this game 8-4 with the Titans 8-3. Thus setting up the New England Patriots to potentially get the number 1 seed in the next few weeks in the AFC. I will start off on this one. I am going with the Patriots. Titans are beat up. And, Belichick is famous for, you got one guy that can beat us? We're going to shut that guy down. Now let's see what you can do. So this has all the makings of a Patriots blowout.
I don't see blowout. but I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to take the Patriots also.
Freaking team. And then
Oh, by the way, if the Patriots win the Super Bowl this year, the NFL's fixed.
Without a doubt.
There's no way
No doubt.
Brady wins one and then Belichick wins one back to back.
Yeah.
It's not fixed.
Yeah. It's like when LeBron left Cleveland and Cleveland got like 2 of the next 3 number 1 draft picks.
Yeah.
They won the lottery 2 of the next 3 years. Hello. All right. Next up, we got the Steelers. We got the Bengals. The Bengals are a 3.5-point favorite at home against the Steelers. Who you got in this one?
These are a lot of hard games this week.
It's all super close. I haven't even seen the most difficult yet.
I feel like the Bengals kind of fixing right in the ship, but the Steelers are still. Oh shit! It's a hard one too.
They still feel dangerous, right?
They do.
Now, one of the big questions here is the Bengals have put up 30 or more points in the last 4 out of 5 games. Can the Steelers stop that in Cincinnati?
Fuck, I'm just going to go home team, man. I'm going to go home team.
That's what I did.
Give me the Bengals.
I went with the Bengals.
It's
going to be a great game. I think that this is certainly going to come down to the final 2 to 3 minutes of the game. This is not going to be and watch like the Bengals or the Steelers somehow blow them out. But I don't foresee this being. I foresee this being a close game throughout, back and forth. Up and down. 2-point lead here, 1-point lead there, and then the Bengals winning it in the end. But certainly not. This is not a good week for gamblers.
No.
Not a good look at the game.
No.
Exhibit 73. The Atlanta Falcons head to Jacksonville to play the Jaguars. The Falcons are a 1-point favorite here. I don't know. the Falcons have looked like utter trash.
But I'm going to go Falcons anyway. My first away team, I think. I'm going to go Falcons. Except for the Eagles. They picked the Eagles too. But I'm going to go Falcons.
I'm going to go Falcons only because I can't pick the Jags. There's nothing about them. And I don't know if Ridley is potentially coming back. Is it this week or next week? But I mean, it's kind of done for the Falcons. But for gamblers again, the Chargers head to Denver. The Chargers are a 2.5-point favorite at Denver. These games are not going to get any easier to pick here.
No, actually,
maybe one game.
I like this easy Chargers. I'll take the Chargers.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see the Broncos winning.
They'll try to lose, but Bunker. We were just giving your team props, Bunker, and you weren't here, and now you're here.
No comment. Mac Jones. What are we doing? They're living in a freaking bizarre world. All right. Here it is. The game of the week. Can the Rams right the ship? They head to Green Bay. The Packers are a 1-point favorite, which indicates that Vegas believes that the Rams are the better team here. I don't know. I'm not sold on that. I did pick the Rams at the beginning of the year to go to the Super Bowl against the Bills, which is it's not looking. I don't know what it's looking like, but
it was a hard game too.
I'll start off with this one. I'm gonna go with the home team here. I'm going with the Packers. I know that they lost one of their running backs, but Dylan's great too. That's one of those teams where it's interchangeable, like Dallas, like Minnesota, where you can get that backup running back and they could do just as good as the workhorse.
I kind of feel like the Rams are due. Like they get an OBJ game or is Von Miller even playing this week? Is he even back yet? He got traded and hasn't played a single game yet.
Didn't he? Yeah, no, he played that San Francisco game. Remember, Kittle trucked him.
No, he got hit by the fullback too. I'm sticking up for Von Miller. Then he got hit by the two people. It took two people to knock his ass over. But you know what? Just because it's the home team, and I'm gonna have to go with weather here, I'm gonna go with the Packers.
The Pack. I think they're gonna do it. All right, here we go. Another. This for me. This is one of the hardest ones of the week because I don't know what either of these two teams are. I don't know if they're good teams, bad teams, or what. But the Vikings at the 49ers, 3-point favorite, are the 49ers.
I'm going to go with the away team here. I'm going to go with I think they have way more weapons.
They do.
Way more weapons.
They do, and yes, your boy
Bunker,
quarterback.
I agree, Bunker.
But I'm not even looking at Bunker. I'm like Terzio. Bunker's my Terzio. I'll not even look at the.
But look, see what he wrote. Yes, I do think he's overrated.
Now that he's not a Giant, for sure.
Yes.
I can say that without a doubt. I can say that. Hey, OBJ, nice catch 7 years ago. Good catch.
No, but I mean, he could help a team. Not as number one. Not as a number one.
But
he's not going to replace Cooper Kupp.
He's got to be Robert Woods, though.
Yeah.
That's what he's got to be. Like it became, let's add to the pile of this great wide receiving core that we have too. Holy shit, we need OBJ. We need OBJ to be some, not if not Giants OBJ, something slightly less, because Giants OBJ was obviously his peak. Good job, Gettleman. I'm with you. I'm in the same boat here that the Vikings have more weapons, but and again, when you talk about Vegas, this says that this is as even a matchup as you can get with the home team getting the 3. I'm gonna go with you, Timmy. I'm going with the Vikings. They do just have. I mean, at every position, Conklin at tight end, like he's very serviceable. In that role.
Cook, whoever,
that's horrible. I sat Adam Thielen last week. I don't remember for who now, but I regretted it, but I still won my matchup, so that's all that matters. One of the easier games, I think, to choose. I'm not sure if Lamar Jackson is going to be playing 100% yet or not. If he is, it becomes even easier. I'm going under the assumption that he is playing, so I'm going with Baltimore. On this one.
They won't.
This is a freaking Sunday night game.
Yeah,
I watch the Browns on Sunday nights. Maybe I'll still be in my Thanksgiving food coma.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ravens also.
Yeah,
they won without Jackson, which was shocking. They can definitely beat the Browns without him. And if he plays, they're definitely gonna beat him.
Thank you, Ravens, beating the Bears. All right, and then next Monday night game is not a good one. Doesn't feel like a good one. It's not going to be a good one. It's the Seahawks, who are now 3-7, at the Washington football team. The Washington football team, if you would have told, Tim, if somebody came to you and said, Week 12, the Seahawks against Washington, and Washington's going to be favored in that game.
With a better record.
With a better record.
You know what? Let's just make it interesting. I'm going with Seattle. I'm going to go with Seattle for this game. Screw that home team. Fucking team with no name. You don't have a name. You shouldn't be allowed. It's like auto drafting.
By the way, quick programming note: we're the ham and cheese here. So we stomped you out was right before us with our two beautiful faces, and then in about 10 minutes will come Granny's Peach Tea. What movie are they doing this week, Timmy? Do you know? It's got to be Homecoming.
No, Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay, Into the Spider-Verse. Okay. So big week last week with I'm a little ashamed to say how many more times I've seen the Spider-Man trailer, but brings us joy. Tim, brings us joy. Raul says NBA. This is what I wanted to bring up. NBC is keeping their flex games open towards the end of the season. That's why Cleveland and Baltimore is being kept Sunday night. So you hear the Fox guys talking about NBC. You hear NBC talking about Fox. Just hook it up. This is all NFL revenue is being driven, right? So give us a good Sunday. Don't give us Cleveland and
give us Packers Rams or
hell yeah, big Rams Packers should definitely be the Sunday night game.
They should flex Mondays too.
Yeah, I think they can do.
Nobody wants to watch this Monday night.
Seahawks and I can't. All right, I haven't picked this game yet. I just saw the blank space in my name. I can't pick the Washington football team. Can't do it. I know Russell Wilson's struggling. I know it's going to be outdoors. It's probably going to be cold. You guys have a cold front coming up there over the weekend. Got the wind coming through. I don't know if I'm talking myself into the Seahawks or out of the Seahawks. But I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
That's my upset game.
I can't do it.
Vikings.
If you're going to bet, tomorrow's a big gambling day. So I listened to a couple of shows, and it's like Pat McAfee said, NFL is where you don't want people coming over talking about politics or religion or this or that. You just throw the damn games on, and people will sit there and watch, and then people will separate themselves. He said, even if people are talking about politics and religion, you're not going to be part of that group because you're going to be watching that game. Or those games. So good. Thank you for football. And anything else that we should bring up today, Timmy?
No, I don't think so. I think we pretty much hit everything. There was no crazy news this week, thank God.
Yeah,
no murders, nobody except for the beating by Zach Stacy of his.
Oh yeah,
that
former
25
former Buffalo Bill
beat his girlfriend on. How do you not know there's cameras in the house?
That was awful.
It was horrible. It was horrendous.
Raul's got Lions, Cowboys, Bills.
Oh, I have to make my pick for that game.
So yeah,
I'm gonna go Lions.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna go Lions because we want that draft pick, baby.
Let's go Lions. I will be definitely root for the Lions.
You're gonna get very angry Thanksgiving texts if they're losing that game tomorrow. So you know. Fucking Karachi, fucking Raul.
Kyle is also going with the Lions. Everybody else so far who have sent in their picks has gone with the Bears. But
I want to switch because Kyle picked. No, I'm not gonna switch.
I had to go with the Lions. I've been saying for weeks, this is the game. This is the game that they're going to win. Is it going to propel them into a 4 or 5 game winning streak? No. That's not what I'm looking for here.
The Bears are terrible. Their coach sucks.
Coach cries.
Yep.
So maybe you can cry some tears of joy tomorrow night. Just that one little tear down the left side. Go enjoy your turkey and everything. But all right, I'm glad Timmy over to my side. We get the Lions. Let's do this.
That game be real important tomorrow now.
Yes. I am putting money on the Lions. I'm doing it. I have faith. I'm not putting a lot of money on the Lions.
My parents and my brother, although people are going to be there, not really into football. So I bet me and the wife are going to be huddled in the corner watching the game on our phone. I was screaming, "Fucking Lions!"
Tim, when did you become a Lion fan? Farachi. All right, let's put a big old ribbon on this bad boy and get this closed out in time for Granny's Peach Tea, which is coming up in about 5 minutes or so. Breaking down all the latest in comic book goodness. Tim,
if you're not tired of my face, I'll probably pop on that show real quick.
Yes,
for the Hawkeye review because Hawkeye was really good today.
Crap! I haven't seen it yet. I'll try and get that done tonight.
Another Marvel home run. First 2 episodes were great. So
knocking out of the pack.
Yep. So I'll be on for that.
Okay. All right. Any closing remarks for the crew out there?
It's a hard hard year this year to pick these games, everybody. But no, enjoy your football, enjoy Thanksgiving, enjoy your family. We're back to normal a little bit. Have fun, enjoy. Happy holiday, everybody. Eat some turkey, man.
Yes. Yeah, we're as a group, we're under 60% picking for the year. The only guys above 60% are Rodriguez and Tim. Very good. Myself, Align, and David. Oh, you guys are dragging us down. Everybody else is dragging us down. But enjoy your football tomorrow. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your friends. Be thankful that we can do it safely. Just it has nothing to do with COVID or anything. Just be safe out there. The crazy lunatics are just out of control. The stories that you hear every single day. Just stay inside and do your thing. Have fun. Enjoy your family. Enjoy the food. And hopefully enjoy some winnings this week, whether it be fantasy or if you're dabbling with a couple of bucks on the Lions. Not too much. Don't too much on the Lions. You'll vomit your Thanksgiving. You'll lose your appetite. All right. That'll do it for us. Again, Granny's Peach Tea coming up in about 3 minutes. And we'll talk to you guys next week. Enjoy football. Peace.